Okay, I think I actually got this thing. I think I actually got it. The carb needs a bit of adjustment, but yeah. Oh my god. Oh, too much for a little guy like me to kick. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Oh, fuck, I need to rest. You're just gonna have to believe me that I got it running. See? I wasn't kidding. Holy cow. Needs a few tweaks. Pretty sweet. Okay, it's a couple days later. I don't know about this bike, man. This bike is cursed. Now, I've dealt with a lot of timing issues in my day. Like, a lot of timing issues. Something that I've never seen before on this bike. So, the last little clip you saw, that was, I believe, on Saturday. So, Sunday, I spent all day Sunday trying to get it running again. And for the life of me, I could not get this thing to fire. I kicked it so much that I have a bruise on my foot, and I could barely walk there on Monday morning. So, I don't know, man. It was firing on the exhaust stroke. So, I kick. I jump on it, get it to kick over, bang! It would explode every time. And I was like, okay, well, that was odd. Did it again. I did it about 5 times before I thought, okay, something is wrong. So, my timing marks are lined up, but I thought, you know what? For shits and giggles, the flywheel's lining up with the mark on the case. The dots on the cams are lining up the way they should be. Something's not right. So, I pulled the flywheel off, and I found something that I've never seen before on a bike. So you see in that clip, when it got running, I burped the throttle a couple times, and then it kind of did a puff, poof, backfire. It sheared the flywheel key. I've never seen that before on a bike. Have you ever seen a sheared flywheel key? That is what it looks like. It is in 2 pieces. 2 pieces. I've never seen that before. Ever. So that flywheel was able to adjust and move and spin. So when it backfired, it puffed it, advanced it to where it was firing on the exhaust stroke with the exhaust valve open, which could have been bad if I'd kept kicking and it could have blown the engine apart. So then I got thinking, let me take a look at the stator. So I pulled the stator off. I want to just have a look at it, and I find this. Look at this nice hack job. So somebody added an extra wire, which I get, right? So if you got a brown wire here, you got your control wires. I don't know what the hell this wire does or what it's supposed to do. I don't really know much about stators, but I do know if you follow this wire, it goes from a small wire to a bigger wire to a, oh, look at this. What the hell is this? You know, it's not even an insulated connector. It's not even crimped right, and there's not even any shrink tube on that. So, like, what do these guys think when they do this kind of stuff? Like, no wonder this bike wouldn't frickin' run. So yeah, that's my job. I gotta fix all that, see if I can find the right gauge of wire, which I probably don't have. But you see, this is nice, right? This is crimped. This is heat shrink. This is what it should look over here. I don't know why it never got done here. It's not like it's a difficult thing to do. And I can imagine, you know, if you're ticking this thing over and it shorts out and it's touching the case and it's grounding out, well, that's going to kill half of your stator. You know, you got your, if you flip it over, you've got ignition coil, you've got a charge coil. So, yeah, I don't know. And maybe actually on this one, because it's a WR, let's take a look at these coils. Generally with a bike or like a snowmobile or anything, you'll have like a lighting coil, you'll have an ignition coil, and you'll have a charge coil. And all those run off different wires here. And if I had to guess, because this is a 6-wire or a 7-wire setup, that you were gonna have that on that. But God, I hate working on stuff that people have hacked. Like, come on, man, you could do a better job than that. God, gross. So this is now, I'm calling this the cursed WR. The cursed bike, because every time I turn around, there's something else that could be freaking wrong with it. So yeah, I don't know. But the dude's pretty stoked about it. He's got plastics on order. He was thinking about a timing chain, but I don't really think you need a timing chain. I mean, that's not loose at all. So I'm thinking sometime in the recent future, this has had a timing chain. Because if it was, you know, it's a 2001, it's probably got, God, 400 or 500, maybe even 1,000 hours of riding time on it. Ridden hard, put away wet. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, the dude's all crazy about it, and I don't know if I ever showed this, but back tire could, you know, need to be replaced. So I mentioned to him, yeah, you probably need a back tire, you know, sometime down the road. So this crazy man goes out and buys a brand new freaking tire before it even runs. So, I mean, I guess you could sell the bike for parts if I can't get it running. You might get your money back for a tire, but that's where we stand. So, waiting for him to get me a flywheel key. I tried my hand at making one, but nah, key stock is, it's hardened steel, and I don't really want to be messing with it. But I mean, on closer inspection of the key, it looked like it was fatigued and it was worn pretty good. So keys don't last forever. I'm just lucky that it didn't fire really in the wrong spot, and you know, detonate and blow the piston apart and take a valve out, and it gets pretty bad from there. But yeah, well, that's where we stand. So waiting on a flywheel key. All right. I go for a buggy rip today, but for one, it is nasty and disgusting and raining out. It's kind of bright, you can't really tell. But, yeah, it's gross and rainy. And I gotta work today. About an hour. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the cursed bike. She's now the cursed bike. Okay. Pick this back up there, and hopefully in a couple days we'll have a flywheel key. Got some parts in the mail. Or, not in the mail. Buddy dropped me some parts off yesterday. There it is. There is the tiny little piece that has been keeping this project on standstill. There's the new flywheel key. And he brought me a fuel petcock, because that one, when you turn the gas off, it would not turn off, it would stay on. It's a nice little piece, eh? It's a pretty decent sized tube. So you got, so up here, the screen up here is for when you're running just your normal on. I don't know if many people know about this, but there's your normal on, right? So then when you run out of gas, you've got this much in your gas tank, that much in your gas tank. That's when you flip it on reserve. That should be enough to get you back to a place where you can call a buddy and tell him how screwed you are because you're a moron and you ran out of gas. Okay, so this is all done. Did a bit of extra, you know, fixes on this. And the wire is now, I didn't have any wire that was the right size, so I just used what was there. Did a better job. It's now soldered and heat shrinked. So, oh, it's all blurry. I'm not going to be able to see that. Yeah, did that yellow in there. It's a nice bit of heat shrink, and retaped it up, and yeah, time to put her on the bike. Okay, we're all set up here. Let's get her back together. Take the new flywheel key. See if I can't drop that down inside the engine. Hey man, you're gonna have to buy a new flywheel key. I can't find the one you got for me. Can't found. Man, I see some stupid stuff after sometimes. Alright. Okay. Okay, here we go. Fresh new flywheel key. The groove has got some goobers in it. Ooh, lots of goobers in there. All right. Okay, much better. Okay, it should be a nice tight fit. Oh, excellent. There we go, baby. New flywheel key installed. Okay, stator plate is next. Feed these wires. I don't know how much you guys can see. Oh, my lighting in my shop kind of sucks. I gotta get some better lights here. Oh wait, hang on a second. I got an idea. Hey, that looks a little better. There's a little more light. Okay, let's feed this baby up here. Up there. I don't know if I want to go. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Plate goes back into position. Rubber goes back in its hole. It's a joke there somewhere. And plate is lined up. So it sit properly. Yeah, plate is lined up. Sits properly and it's, oh, there we go. Now it's in its hole. Alright. Give me some screws. Yeah, best thing I ever bought. Right here, baby. Best thing I ever bought. These little 3/8, little electric DeWalt. It was a couple $100, but best investment I've ever made. You just don't want to cross thread these in there. Now, you know, some manuals say you should put Loctite on these. Yeah, you should, but if you ever have any hope of getting this off and you Loctite a steel bolt in an aluminum case, you might be taking threads out with it when you take it out. So, small screws, probably 8 to 9 foot-pounds. Good enough for me. She's looking pretty good. Good. And flywheel. She's looking fairly clean. No debris. No debris. Almost looks like the flywheel was rubbing. Take a look at that. You can see that scoring mark in there. Oh boy, was it ever rubbing. Well, maybe something got in there. Hopefully none of this stuff is effed up, because these things are expensive. I think the last stator I priced out for my snowmobile was like $800. Like, yikes. And get it on there. There we go. Good position. There's a washer. So I'll probably get guff for this too. Because it's a tapered shaft, you don't have to He-Man tight that nut. Once you get it on there tight, the tapered shaft on a tapered shaft, it bites amazingly hard. I mean, I should have videoed me taking the flywheel off. I kind of screwed the threads up here on this a little bit, and I had to run a tap down that or a thread chaser to make it work. But yeah, damn, like I could not. It took me, probably had 50 pounds of pressure on it and beating it with a hammer before she finally popped off. So I mean, I go tight. You get a good bite on it, and you make her nice and tight. I really hope I don't have to adjust the timing at all on this thing. So that should do her. And it's a special kind of a nut on this one here. It's a special type of like a stover nut that you can reuse. It's got little lips on it, little edges. Okay, next here. I'm just going to throw all this stuff back together and come back when she's ready to rip. Alright, covers are back on. Just wanted to show that for anybody who has never really done any work on a bike on a 4-stroke. Timing is quite important on these. If your cam timing is off, you can have, it's called an interference engine. You'll have a piston up when a valve is down, and that's when you bend and break stuff. And I've seen it so far as bits and pieces of valve going out the exhaust. Yeah, it's kind of insane. So let's see here. So the engine spins left like this. So I'm going to rotate this. Let's see if I can get you guys down a little closer. So I want you to look in that little hole right there. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to show you some timing marks. So those are not timing marks. Let's see here. And at the same time, I'm looking at the cam. So you can see there's a dot there. There's a dot there at the top. But if you were to look at the cam, you see that E? So the E and the I need to be legible, and they need to be straight across. So here we go. So you got to remember, with a 4-stroke, there's going to be 2 top dead centers. If you replace the timing chain, and let's say the timing chain is off, and you're like, well, I don't know what top dead center to go to. It doesn't matter what top dead center you pick. Both of them are the same until you put your cam chain on and your cam's in. Then it defines what top dead center does what. Because at the other top dead center is the exhaust stroke, and the exhaust valve will be open. That's why when you set it up, you got to make sure your cams are right, or destruction to the engine. Okay. So that was bottom dead center. You see, now we're coming back around here. You see the E and the I is lining up, and then we're going to get 3 dots on each cam. See, 1 dot, 2 dots, 3. You see how they're all lined up? You see how they're all parallel across the top of the case? That means your cams are in phase. They're in timing. Then if we come down here and we look in the little hole, we are going to see some marks here. Let's see if I can get it. You see that mark right there? It looks like an H, but it's not an H. You want to go right to that I. See right that I? That's your ignition timing. So the other lines are your top dead center. So you got to remember, in an engine, your spark plug does not always fire at top dead center. It's going to fire, 10 or 15 degrees before top dead center or after top dead center. The more timing you add, so you'll watch racing shows and the guys go, oh, we want to do 32 degrees. Well, that's 32 degrees of rotation before top dead center, advancing the timing. The more you advance it, the more likely you're going to cause pre-ignition, where things explode before your piston's at the top. So people talk about fire front. You want the fire front, so you want the fuel to ignite before your piston's at top dead center. So when it gets to top dead center and it's starting to go down, that's when that explosion really gets going and pushes that piston down. So it's very important to know like your ignition timing. But on a bike, it's bang up. It's like line that mark up, line that mark, you're styling. And then you want to read more about it. You talk about piston dwell while you think about the crankshaft is round, right? A piston's going to go up, and it's going to stop, and it's going to come back down, and it's going to stop, because you got one rotational mass and one up and down mass. There is a point to where that crank is almost at the top. The angle, the geometry of the rod changes, but the piston doesn't move as it's going around. Okay, next video, I hope to have her running. Yee baby. Alright, there it is. It's all back together. It can only mean one thing. She is a runner. A little ugly, a little greasy and gross. Fires up pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Let's set you up here somewhere. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. Woo! How about that, eh? Hell yeah! Sounds beautiful too. That's what I'm talking about. All right. This project is done. Next, I'm gonna start working on this baby here because I got everything I need. I got all my goodies. I got my harnesses, I got my electrical components, my ignition unit, first generation CDI, and some coils, and my rectifier. Oh yeah, this thing will be beauty when it's all done. It's gonna take a lot of work though. All right. Hey.